Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the 3-4 odd formation. And the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at the Sam Mike 3 plays. Now, this is going to be really easy to set up. Basically all we're going to do here is base align. We're going to shift our linebackers to the right. We're going to pinch our line. Call contain, and then we're just going to user this left outside linebacker right here. I'm going to hold L2 until the ball is snapped, and as you can see, I'm just going to scream up the B gap. Now let's go ahead and do that again. Baseline, press, shift my linebackers right, pinch the D line, and call contain, and now I'm just going to get right here. And that time it kind of got picked up, but it still came. Let's go ahead and do it again. For some reason my guy's trying to shoot the gap. And if you start getting that, what you can do to counter that, which isn't always that bad in a game, because if it happens in a game, a lot of times it'll actually end up coming A gap. But you can just crash the line down to counter that. So what I did there was I base a line, call press, shift the linebackers right, pinch the line, and crash it down. And now I'm just going to go ahead and user this guy over the outside of the left tackle. And as you can see, I'm screaming. Now the second way we're going to set up these Sam Mike plays is we're going to go ahead and base align, spread out our linebackers, call contain. We're going to hot blitz the outside linebacker on the left side of the screen. We're going to go ahead and purple zone this linebacker right here. And then we're just going to use this middle linebacker right here in this gap. And as you can see, we're going to get nice B gap pressure. Now what you can also do with this same setup is base align, spread our linebackers, call contain. Still going to hot blitz that linebacker and throw the zone right here. Now you can use this this strong safety right here. Just make sure you hold L2 until the ball is snapped. But you'll get a little bit of a different animation. It's the same speed, but if you notice what's happening here is at the snap, Jabbar Shear gets picked up, but as soon as my linebacker goes to loop, they release him. So it's pretty much the same speed of the blitz, it's just not technically untouched. So if you're one who really is a stickler about untouched heat, then make sure you use this setup, the first one that I showed from this. And as you can see, you're either going to get that edge heat, but 99% of the time you're going to get the B gap from the linebacker. All of it is exactly the same speed though. Now, the last thing we're going to go ahead and show from the Sam Mike plays is another version of this setup, which is basically just going to be base align, call press, spread our linebackers, and call contain. Now we're going to go ahead and throw that purple over there. We're going to hot blitz the linebacker on the left, and then we're going to get right on top of the center. And now the reason for this one is just because it looks a lot like the inside zone defense that I'm sure a lot of you have seen. Now, is this one 100%? No, but it is a nice mix-in. Technically, you can just spread your linebackers and call contain and then just re-blitz the defensive tackle over the center. And you'll end up with that pressure without having to make it a little more exotic of a play. So just base the line, call press, spread your linebackers, re-blitz the D tackle over center, and get right here behind him. Hold L2 till the ball snapped, and then drop off. Our first two setups are the two that I enjoy, that I would go with the most. But I just wanted to go ahead and show it just to show. Now let's get into other plays, and we'll go ahead and look at Will Buck 3 press first. This is a nice little play to mix in here. It's going to give us pressure from the opposite side now. And basically with this, all we're going to do is base a line, spread our linebackers, shift our D line to the left, and then we're just going to re-blitz this defensive tackle and call contain. And now I'm going to go ahead and user Mayo. And as you can see, we end up with B-gap pressure from the linebacker. And let's go ahead and set that up again. Base the line, spread the linebackers, shift the line left, and blitz down that defensive tackle. Call contain. You don't necessarily have to call contain. I just feel like it comes a little faster when you do. That time he was able to slide over. That's more of some practice mode nonsense. Usually, lately I've been filming a lot of this in the game, but it becomes a headache after a while because I'm sitting there having to punt back and forth and all that stuff to get it to you. But as you can see, it comes just fine. And now the last two things we're going to look at is going to be Will Sam 3 and Pinch Dog 2. And actually that's not the last two. There's one more after that. But Will Sam 3 and Pinch Dog 2 are essentially the same play. They're just, they're essentially the same play. They're just one's a cover 3 and one's a cover 2. So we're just going to call baseline. You can press if you wish. All we're going to do is spread our linebackers and call contain. And then we're just going to get on the middle linebacker right here that's playing over the middle and stand directly over top of the center. Once again, this looks like inside zone defense. Hold L2 until the ball is snapped. And as you can see, we get outside pressure. Depending on the formation you're going up against, it's either going to come left or right. Doesn't really matter whether it comes left or right as long as it comes. And it's going to come against almost everything. Right there, we got it from the right that time. So, and Pinch Dog 2 is exactly the same blitz, exactly the same setup. It's just the cover 2 version of this play. If I can find it real quick for you. Pinch Dog 2 press. Why not run it against under center? Same setup, guys. If you want, you can do purples on the outside or whatever adjustment you want to make. And now with this, I usually take the linebacker. You can use either one of these two. Now, since there's a slot receiver over there, I'm not going to use him. And there's a tight end right here, so I can get to that tight end faster than I would be able to get to that slot receiver. So just stand over here, same way. And as you can see, we're screaming. If they were to run play action against this, as long as you pass commit, you should come in clean. And as you can see, right there, that was kind of a rollout play. So that was the only reason that Russell Wilson was able to escape. Let's try to find a different play action. That's another boot play. Here's a play action from shotgun, which a lot of people are running in order to stop you from getting your gap pressures and stuff like that. And as you can see, there's no way they're going to be able to run play action against you and get the ball off. And that goes for most of these blitzes. Most of these blitzes are still going to come versus play action. Now, the one last play I do want to show, I'm going to flip the formation for this, and we're going to look at 3 buzz sting show 2. And basically with this, we're just going to be looking to generate either outside right pressure or right B gap pressure. And basically what we're going to do here is we're going to base align. We're going to spread our linebackers, shift our D-line right, and crash it out. From here, we're just going to call contain. We're going to go ahead and purple this defensive end right here, and then we're going to get on the strong safety. Now, for whatever reason, this guy didn't move all the way where he normally does. So let's go ahead and check out what happens. And right there, like I said, he didn't exactly line up where he's supposed to. So let's go ahead and try that again. We're going to base align, spread our linebackers. We're going to shift our D-line to the right, crash them out, call contain, and then we're going to go ahead and purple zone that linebacker, that defensive end right there, and we're going to use it as strong safety. And as you can see right there, we come in clean through the B gap. Now another way, if you don't want to use it as strong safety because of how that hook zone drops, which is really nice actually, what we can do is set up the play the exact same way, except now we're just going to get on this linebacker right here, and we're going to stand right over next to the defensive end and hold L2 until the ball snaps, and then we're going to come back and we end up with 2 guys free that time. So and you could actually set this up from any play. If you're doing it from a cover 3 like this where the linebacker's on the right, you always want the blitzing linebacker to be on the right. So we're just going to call baseline press, spread the linebackers, shift the D-line right, crash them out, call contain, and now you're just going to want to re-blitz Mayo, throw Jones in a purple, and re-blitz the linebacker right there. Now you can do any adjustment you want to do, whatever, you know, from there. Ooh, and as you see right there, that middle of that line just opened wide up for me, and I just kind of missed it. I actually think the flipped, I think cover 2 flipped. Yeah, cover 2 flipped actually has the blitzing linebacker on that side. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, we're screaming off the right edge.